Hey guys, so this is my quick little review of a movie called Private Life. I was thinking about making a video talking about the Gotham nominations, and ultimately decided not to, mostly because I'm not feeling my best, as I'm sure you're well aware of by now. Um, but the Gotham Awards are the first awards to announce, really, and they always start out by announcing a bunch of movies that you've never heard of, even if you're in the movie industry. Uh, so, but in the past couple years, I've tried to go out of my way to watch as many movies as I can. And one of the Gotham nominees, Private Life, is a Netflix original that came out recently. So I said, what the heck, I'll watch it. Because I've enjoyed a lot of fun movies just because they were nominated for Indie Awards. So this movie, I went in totally blind. I didn't know anything about it, which sometimes I find it really enjoyable to go into a movie knowing nothing. All I knew was that Kathryn Hahn was in it. Uh, and what I got out of this movie was I enjoyed it myself personally. But that being said, I can imagine a lot of people can find this boring. It is so the basic premise of the film is that Kathryn Hahn and Paul Giamatti are a married couple in their 40s who are unable to conceive, and that they've been trying for years and years and years to conceive. She really, really wants to be a mother, but her husband, slightly less enthusiastic, but still trying to make it happen. And we get the sense that it's the only thing that's keeping their marriage afloat. And eventually it gets to a point where they have to consider getting an egg donor. And after looking through several random strangers and feeling that they don't feel comfortable with random strangers, they end up getting their step-niece involved. And this results in a lot of complications and a lot of drama on several different sides of the issue. A lot of different characters have their own opinions on what the step niece is asked to do, and it's one of those movies where no character is completely right or completely wrong. It just presents in a complicated issue and allows you to look at it from all different sides. And what I like about this movie is that it feels very realistic, particularly in its performances and in its dialogue. To start out with the performances, Kathryn Hahn and Paul Giamatti are excellent in this film. If you didn't know that these people were already famous celebrities, you would think that they just, if you didn't know their faces, you'd think that they just were filming two random people on the street, because everything about their performances feels 100% authentic, with virtually no exceptions. Every time they have a scene together, it's a very real. They're very realistic performances, very naturalistic. They don't feel like characters; they feel like people. Everybody in this story is a very flawed person, and they address that. The film is directed by Tamara Jenkins, a female director. I looked it up to see if she's done anything else, and she did The Savages, that Laura Linney film from 2007. That was 11 years ago, and she hasn't done anything since until this one. But she also wrote the screenplay, and I think that's very interesting because I would argue the highlight of the film is the writing. I think if you're going to watch this film, watch it to study the writing, because this is really, really good. This is a really good example of natural dialogue. Sometimes you see movies like with Quentin Tarantino or Wes Anderson where they try to make the dialogue as dialogue should be, and they make it exaggerated versions that people don't really talk in, but it's like the perfected version of dialogue. And in a lot of films, dialogue is you just know it's there to advance the plot. It doesn't feel realistic. It doesn't feel how most people would talk. But what I love about the dialogue in this film is that it feels almost improvised at times. It feels like this is just how people would talk. It's just how people would have a conversation. Even the exposition, there's very little of it. We don't find out the jobs of our married couple until quite a good ways into the movie. And all the dialogue feels completely natural and completely Yeah, it's just a good study in natural sounding dialogue. And it's a 2 hour movie, and I can see a lot of people can find this film boring, especially once you see what it amounts to without giving it away. You could argue that not much was accomplished over the course of the film. But I kind of sometimes I kind of like movies like that. It's one of those movies that just feels like a slice of life and a very it's a dramedy, I would say, although near the end it leans a little bit more towards drama than comedy, but it does have some comedic elements in it. It feels very down to earth and very like it's not trying to manipulate you, it's just trying to present a situation and allow the audience to figure out their own interpretation of the events. Particularly the ending, I do really like that final shot of the movie. I think it was kind of a ballsy choice to end the movie on that shot, but I really commend it. And it's interesting, this is a very small Netflix movie. I don't think it's going to have a big awards player. I think Kathryn Hahn is going to get some recollections. She and Giamatti are both great, but I think Hahn, it's good to see Kathryn Hahn in this kind of role because she doesn't do dramatic roles very often. And here she really gets to shine in this very grounded, realistic performance. Giamatti's good too, but we've seen this kind of thing from Giamatti before, and we really haven't seen it from Hahn. But I don't know if she's going to do anything in the Oscar race. Maybe if the Golden Globes want to push this comedy, then there's a chance she could get in. But I will say, I do think that it might be a very, very slim dark horse for original screenplay. Uh, the screenplay is very, very good. It's the best thing about the film. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's a possibility, and it would be a deserving nomination. So that's my review of Private Life. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.